stealthing. And we ask for your comments, your opinions, and you're to text us on 22999. That's our SMS line. On Facebook and Twitter, Switch TV Kenya, Instagram, Switch TV KE, hashtag Chatspot. So there's Faith Mutoi, and she says, hey ladies, I agree with the Makosi. It's very important for you to double check whether your man has the rubber on. It's very important also to check after the deed that indeed he used the rubber. And then I also see Betty Mutethia saying, I'm loving the show, watching you guys from Thika. Nawapenda sana. And stealthing is something that is happening rampantly, and we need a solution to this. This should be a criminal offense. And I agree, it should be a criminal offense.
Yeah. Yeah, it should. So guys, our guest is in studio. He goes by the name of Steve Murua, yeah?
Yes.
Karibu, he's an actor. What else?
Man, I do a lot of things. But, okay, I'm an artist. Let's just say I'm a musician. I haven't been an actor for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to be back in the day.
So introduce yourself.
How do we pronounce it? Is it Steven Murua?
Murua or Murua?
Just say Murua. It's
Murua.
okay, it's my name. I mean, it's you know Jina ID by the way.
Na unajua Murua inamaanisha nini? Inamaanisha kitu sawa.
But the funny thing is, I discovered that name is like in every tribe in Kenya, so it's useful. It's useful. Yeah, but that's my name.
Yeah.
So, okay, where to start? I mean, like you said, I used to be an actor, Mark. Then the defunct Phoenix Players back then.
Yeah.
I took a break for a while, came back. I wanted to get something that would help me, you know, explore that whole creativity thing. So I got into music. So I've been doing that from last year, let's just say that. So when I got into, you know, mainly recording, a bit of producing. I have produced a few acts, some upcoming young guys, but pretty much that's it. So I would say I am a musician now. Just a musician. It's good for now.
Amazing. And tell us, what inspires your music and the genre that you do?
All right. Okay. Have you seen my music? Okay. I'm more of a reggae artist, but it's more about life. It's all about expressing yourself. I found a lot of my stuff is more romantic, I would say. It's been well received by the ladies, so I would say it is more leaning in that direction. But it's just about life, you know, the stuff we deal with and all that.
So and why reggae? Have you always been a fan of reggae and it was automatically just
reggae is everything,
vibe?
man. Reggae is life. I mean, it's okay. If you're going to look at the music, I just want to be honest. If you go to any club right now, you put whatever you're going to put. Wakiweka hiyo reggae, kila mtu anaona.
Yeah, the atmosphere changes.
There's a reason. Unajua reggae just cuts across everything. You can't stop it.
I must agree. And don't get uncomfortable, but you know, on this show we talk about everything. So
ask me, hit me.
Our life spot today, we had a topic, and you being a guy, we'd like to get your perspective of how you see that stealthing situation. What would you say? Like, cause you know it's so wrong.
Those are brave guys. I won't even lie. I mean, okay, I'm imagining those are not the guys in Kenya, because if you get into that stealthing stuff, it is messed up. Yeah, you know, in this Kenya right now, you're not going to get people pregnant and get away with it. So I don't know how a guy would willingly do that. But you know, guys are weird out there. I mean, I met a guy. I'm hoping he's not watching the show. Okay, guys are crazy. I mean, I met a guy who just told me outright, you know, he doesn't believe in like protection of any kind.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I'm like, okay, so how does that work? He said, you know, if I get with a girl, namwangalia naona kako poa.
Hey, my friends, looks deceived.
I was like, that's a brave man, eh?
Yeah.
Because the problem is, again, you know, this is a two-way thing, because that lady may look like she's okay. And she might be okay, but you don't even know what intention she's come with.
Yeah,
so that protection is actually two-way.
And it's
But
absolutely
to add to that, have you ever, as a man, been sitting in a conversation and heard guys talking about this?
No, this one is crazy. I mean, it's okay. You know, this is Kenya. Typically, I find there are two types. There's a guys who don't want problems. You want to have your good time, and you just basically don't want problems later, so you're protected. And there are the crazy ones, like my friend. I wish he's not listening. That is madness, honestly. You know, there's some things you can't undo. Diseases, children, again, children are a good thing under the right circumstances, but you can imagine you meet some chick today, you get her pregnant.
And then you get quintuplets. Yes, they come in 5.
You're going to Baraka as long as they come under the right circumstances. 5 kids are a blessing. It's not a bad thing.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
as in, it's better to be protected instead of, doing this thing because you want to stealth and then the end product is something you
mentality
didn't
should be
plan.
banned.
It's like a
Oh
minute,
my
man.
God.
It's
Yeah.
not
Young
worth it.
boys, I hope they've heard what you've said. It's a really bad mentality.
Can I tell you something crazy? Okay, for those of us who are not young, back then, okay, I don't know, okay, I'm assuming I'm a bit older than all of you.
Yeah.
There was a time when using condoms became a popular thing. Now, what is freaking me out is that not using condoms is a
It's
popular
becoming
thing.
popular. Yeah.
And I don't get it because there's something more freaky than pregnancy. Yeah? Because sometimes depending on the circumstances, the worst that can happen. But diseases, man.
Yeah.
Not even HIV. In fact, HIV, if they give you the full rundown of diseases, there are some diseases which make HIV look like a joke.
It's true.
So if anybody's listening, don't be stupid. Honestly, it's not worth your time. It's not worth it. Believe me, it's just not worth it. And she does. So no to stealthing. Msikizane mapema. Muone vile mtaishi.
Kabisa. So what do you think of the Kenyan music and the Kenyan industry music?
No, the Kenyan industry is it's interesting in a way. I would say in some ways it's grown. In some ways I feel like it is not very accepting of new music, because you're going to find that in any countdown you're going to see, or any rotation you're seeing right now, it's typically the same 5-10 guys. For the guys who are upcoming, I'll say in some ways I am upcoming. It is rather hard for you to actually get the opportunity to get your stuff heard. But if I'm going to be fair to the guys who are right now, big names and making it, I don't think any of them made it in a day. They've all been there, they have suffered through whatever everybody is suffering through right now. So I would say, in some ways, what we have right now is actually the best that we can have. But, I look at the music scene being like sort of this table, you get. So we have like 5 guys who have already made it. And for you to be one of those 5 guys, they're not going to put a 6th seat.
Yeah.
Someone has to give
You
up
have
the
to
spot here. So that's the way it is. But it's there's a lot of innovation, there's a lot of opportunity. And the good thing is that right now, it isn't 100% about the radio stations or TV stations anymore. Everybody's a publisher in their own right. I mean, you've got your YouTube, you've got your
Instagram,
your social media. So basically, everybody's just doing their own thing. So it's I would say it's coming along very, very nice. I mean, personally for me, it's coming along very well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And looking at it from outside the box, what would you say, because I always ask this, what would you say it lacks or it misses, the music industry in Kenya?
I would say, again, to be very fair, music is like any other product. What you need is for people to see it, to appreciate it, and to like it.
And consume it.
Exactly. But, unless with very rare situations whereby you show up today and you're a hit, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I think right now the industry is doing as well as it can. Because if you were to look at 20 guys, you'll say, okay, first, who do we know? I know probably Sauti Sol. These guys have been there for over 10, 15 years. These guys have been there forever. So obviously these are the guys who are at the front of the line. But I feel it would be nice if there was a bit more opportunity for unknown or upcoming acts. Because the challenge I find is that for many artists, you get tired on the way. By that, let me explain. When I started, like I said, I used to be in the arts a long time ago. So by the time I came back, I was a bit ready mentally. I knew it wouldn't be an overnight thing. I knew it would take time, it would take investment and all that. Now, I want you to imagine someone right now who is coming out of high school. You have no probably money to record and all that. And you're out here fighting with everybody, people who are better funded and all that. So it is just that it's a bit harder for some people. Actually, probably I can mention this. After I'd done my first recordings, I realized that for me, since at least I was ready for the fight, I was ready. But I found that there was a lot of kids who are actually having it a lot harder than me. You're finding 19, 20-year-olds. These guys have got a lot of capacity for music and all that. So at some point last year, I actually did a small competition. And out of 1,000 guys, I got 20 guys who are really good. So we recorded a song for them. They put a proposal to me. We actually did our own small rendition of the national anthem, which I think was pretty good. It wasn't my style, but it was this Odi-inspired thing. It's theirs, more fire to them. They did it. We released it, and then out of the 20, there was a guy who was the best. So we actually just released his his first single this last week. So I mean, for me, that's my small thing I can do, because for me the problems are not, you know, those small recording things. Okay, for me those are not the problems right now, but for these kids there is that. So let me just plug my guy for a moment. So there's a new track by a kid I'm mentoring, Kidogo. It's called TG Boy. We had the audio done by Saint P, video done by Richie G. So it's out. It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's called Maprikicha. Okay. But to be fair, it's just that I feel it is very hard for you if you're coming up and you don't have anything. If all you have is your talent, you get exploited, and the industry chews you out. And in the first 1 year, you say, you know what, let me go back to, you know, selling groundnuts or something. It's very unfair. It's very unfair.
Amazing. And tell us about your new song, Moments, the inspiration behind it, and you know, just what was happening. What was happening?
No, this was fun. This one was fun. I mean, last year, I mean, I had a number of recordings, but I dropped a couple of videos to gauge the market. And then what I thought was, you know, we are getting into the beginning of the year. It's going to be Valentine's Day. Let us have something a bit more mellow, less hard and all that. So I worked with a couple of new guys. So the audio was done by a friend of mine, the beat maker, Jimmy from Cypher Studios. The video, surprisingly, you may be surprised, was done by Kemo of Kemo the Tima. Yeah, Kemo. I mean, the guy is more than a crazy musician. He's actually a very gifted, you know, producer and video maker. So we made that, released it. It shocked the guys who have been listening to me a little bit, because it wasn't that hard reggae guys are used to. But you know, it was the reception was good. 25,000 views so far. I'd say we're okay. We're okay a month later. So it's it was just something I felt would be good for the season. You know, for the romantic. You know, Valentine's season. But the next one, of course, we're going back to what we do best.
Will you say your reggae is reggae by heart? It's not by what people see. You know, most people, when you hear, hey, die-hard reggae person, either ukiangalia utona dready, ukiangalia vitu amevaa utona some reggae inspired. You know, there's always that reggae vibe going on somewhere. But someone looking at you, you don't look like reggae.
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, before it got messed up, did you ever go to the K1 reggae that happens on Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not talking about right now.
Yes.
No, reggae is good. Reggae interpretation, but the problem is, okay, recently I haven't gone in like a year because it got a bit crazy. But the thing that really moved me, because I started going for that night like 4 or 5 years ago, I was surprised by the guys who I found in that place.
Yeah.
And the truth is, okay, you know, I grew up in Eastlands. I mean, I grew up in Eastlands, even the schools I went to downtown Nairobi. You know those Indian schools that go downtown. So the crazy thing is that you find that we are the same guys, you know, tumetoka Eastlands. You live there. By the time, you know, you're moving up in life, you've got your car, you've got your fancy job, whatever. But we still meet listening to the same music. The only thing that changes is everything about you. But that music that made you, you know, it never changes. It never changes. If I wish there's a boy of mine who, so this guy is like an IT manager in one of the top banks. Very civilized guy. Civilized, ukimpata, you know, every day, ako very organized. Mpate regi. Amevaa tule tu string vest tu, you know those guys like mchafu, mimi mwangalia hivi nashinda sasa wewe. Seriously, you just have to find something in the middle. But I don't think the reggae that people used to think about, like when we were kids, reggae tulikuwa tunaona tu ni bangi. That was it.
Yes, definitely the...
Guys, even if I wanted the dreads banner, trust me, I don't want to take off this hat. There's nothing. No, you know, ukiangalia hizi malights zote, I don't want to give you a chance. Take too much reflection.
Nasema kuna airport.
Hizi airport, ini land port, seaport zote. Ini ile kibaki, ni noma.
Oh my God. And on that note, we always have a segment to play a couple of games. So right about now, Game Spot.
Okay.
Yes, kwenye shoe game ni tudhango. Na leo kwenye tudhango, we are going to be doing riddles.
Riddles. It's been a minute.
Rindo. Pick a paper, mama. You'll pick 2 papers.
Cherry shoe. Okay.
Ladies.
Spiky.
So Steve, this is for you.
Actually walk around with a shoe like this, yeah?
Yes.
This is for you.
Okay.
If there were 9 cats on a bridge and one jumped over the edge,
yeah,
how many would be left?
There were 9 cats
on a bridge
On a bridge.
and one jumped over the edge, how many will be left?
I see 8.
None.
9. Huh?
None.
Why none?
They are copycats.
So
But
they
there
all
were 9
jumped.
cats.
So they all jumped.
Okay.
Serious.
There was a greenhouse. Inside the greenhouse, there was a white house. Inside the white house, there was a red house. Inside the red house, there were lots of babies. What is it?
Womb.
There was a greenhouse.
Yes, we won't be called green.
There was a greenhouse. Then there was a red house.
Yes, and then no, there was a greenhouse. Inside the greenhouse, there's a white house. Inside the white house, there's a red house again. Inside the red house, there are so many babies. What is it?
Is it a house of cards?
A rainbow.
No, think food.
Food.
Cake.
Watermelon.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
watermelon.
Yeah. Because of the two seeds.
Greenhouse.
When you eat the cucumber, so there's that
Hey, that one took
whitish.
me a minute. I was
That
like,
one, huh?
There are so many
whitish.
seeds. The babies.
So there's
Okay.
many seeds, the babies. Oh, okay.
If the answer was pineapples, it's funny.
Which weighs more, a pound of iron or a pound of feathers? I think this thing we did it when we were in primary
They were
school.
the same.
So they were the same.
Yeah, they weigh the
It's
same.
like a
yeah.
pound of fat and a pound
but
of
the first time
muscle.
you were asked that, what did you say?
Eh?
The,
Yeah.
first, the other one, the iron.
is
The
the
iron is heavy.
Okay.
You only have physics.
Okay. What can't be used unless broken? Also think on the lines of food.
What can't be used unless broken?
Yes.
Eggs.
Right.
Oh, it's eggs.
Eggs.
At a ground nuts.
Yeah,
So you
even
have to
like
break.
nuts.
With your
Break them
mouth.
to use them. Okay, so now it's me?
Yeah.
Okay. What is put on a table, cut, but never eaten?
It's put
Put
on a table.
cut but never eaten.
Panga soup.
Kitamba. Kitamba ya
What's put on
meza.
a table, but never?
It's not kitamba ya meza.
It is cut, but it is never eaten.
You cut bar soap. You cut it.
On the table.
What is put
Okay.
on the table? It's
On the
cut.
Okay,
table.
okay,
It
okay.
didn't say
Cutlery.
kitchen table.
Cutlery.
It didn't say
Mangijiko na visu
Okay,
hizo.
think betting.
Betting.
betting. Football. Sorry.
Kai.
Betting.
What is put on
Betting.
a table? It's cut, but it's
Imeenda
never
mbali.
eaten.
Nice.
Money.
Okay, gambling.
Gambling.
Like casino
Cards.
gambling.
Cards.
That
It's cut. Oh,
Yeah, so you cut the cards.
Casino
oh,
type.
it's called cutting.
Yeah,
Now I know.
one. Second one. As I went across the bridge, yeah, you cut the
Cards.
deck.
I will make.
Oh my God.
As I went across the bridge, I met a man with a load of wood, which was neither straight nor crooked.
Wood.
Which kind of wood?
I'm listening. Which kind of wood?
You're still think I'm Jamaliza. Anyway, okay, let me start again.
Okay.
As I went across the bridge, I met a man with a load of wood, which was neither straight nor crooked. Which kind of wood was it?
Just I'm imagining what you
I
about
don't
guy.
even know. Okay, I don't even know how you will get to the answer.
Wood.
Give us a clue.
Give us a clue.
Neither
Or direct
straight.
us to the answer, you know.
Yeah, it's a kind of wood you would see.
Because I know that.
We saw it yesterday.
See?
Okay,
The
okay.
kind of wood you'd see.
And then if you saw it yesterday, boss, what are you trying to
Wood.
Okay, fine. I'll just
Ile
tell you.
huko kwa carpenter, ile wakifanya hivi.
Yeah, that one.
Inaitwa nini?
Ile imebaki. The one you saw.
Sawdust.
Yes.
Ndio.
Yeah, sawdust.
It's sawdust.
I didn't even know what kind
Why
of
did
fruit
it
to
sound so woody, as in real
give.
wood?
It is.
Guy.
You're still stuck on the wood.
I know, right?
No.
I'm not
Let's
judging
just
you.
ignore her. Let's just ignore her. The thirst is real.
Are you for real?
Everyone with
We're not
another
judging.
paper.
You know.
I totally
Straight
get you
off the
guys,
stone.
but
Yeah.
hey, you riddle, you know, ma.
Anyone with another riddle?
Oh, I can pick.
There's one more.
Yes.
What has a mouth but can't chew?
Fish.
What has a mouth?
Fish.
A river.
Yes.
A river has a mouth.
Yeah.
It has a mouth.
That's where river
It's okay. That's the
begins.
day.
Down there.
goes into the ocean.
That just looks bad.
Guy. Guys,
We need to take a break.
Life spot imefanya watu wameshoma kushoma. So on that note, we're gonna take a short break.
Yes,
To the
please.
home,
Let's take a break. Yes, welcome back to Chatspot, and we're loving your amazing feedback. I can see Esther Matt asking, ask Murua what he plans to do to his music to make it stand out from the rest.
All right, that's an easy one. Like I've said, music, at some point you have to separate yourself from the music itself, you get. So you create from from your heart, but once it's out there now, you have to push it like anything else. So I mean, I've invested significantly. I mean, I have a team that I'm working with. Off the lessons, basically you pick up something and improve on it and learn on it. So I mean, by last year, what had I done? By last year, if you were to look at the impact that I had 2 videos out, about 400,000 views, so 200 to 100,000 each. So this year, really, I'm just investing in social media. Between 1st of February and now, like on Facebook, my visibility has gone from like 7,000 to like 29,000 like in a month. But that again is extreme pushing. Instagram, we are about 12,000 odd followers. YouTube, we finally just got 1,000 followers on YouTube. So really the focus now, to be honest, my plan is that I'll have a new release out like every 3 months. I will push them aggressively, and really that is my focus. It is just planting now. So this year it is really about putting a lot of effort into my own music. And similarly again, because if I could just say personally, this is not my first crack at music. I tried it out. When I was talking about the kids who are struggling, this is the struggles I went through when I couldn't even get like 2,000 bob, 2,500 to go and record. I mean, those days you didn't even need a music video. A recording was enough. So, I mean, as part of my initiatives to also, I don't want to call it grow my brand, but really also to give back to the guys who probably have 1 or 2 setbacks here and there. I will still be producing a couple of these talented kids who I think deserve it. There's a bunch of kids that I'm working with. So basically for me, it is just, I am just putting out as much as I can, whether it is my recordings or production or whatever. This year really it is just a year of planting.
Yeah, there's Liz J who's asking, are you in a relationship? And I was actually coming to that. So are you engaged?
I have a family, Liz. I have a family. Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Did you do a video of like when you're engaging your fiance?
That, okay. She didn't watch the video.
People keep tabs.
Nobody watched the video. It was, no, this lady is just a really good friend of mine. You know, so we were like, it was just confirming our friendship. It's nothing, it's not engagement, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
People can be friends, man.
You're just confirming your friendship. Oh, is this the same?
Actually, that girl is a girl in the video for moments.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just it's just a good friend, man. We've come a long way. Plus, it's a friendship that's grown in many ways. I mean, professionally, I mean, she's a comedian. She's got her own YouTube channel going on. So it is really just a friend.
Oh.
But I was a bit shocked because you're checking out the bad things people are doing to each other. If you see someone telling a chick, let's be buddies, ililete moto.
Yeah. Hata kwa nyumba.
Yeah, next question.
Okay, next question. You know, 40 never looked this good, y'all. Your 40 never looked this good. Wow. Yeah. So, how's the 4th floor?
Your 4th floor ilikuja na vitu mingi. Let's just say in all my years, sijawahi have a birthday like that one. I was ambushed.
40 buckets. How was it?
That one, I wasn't expecting it. My good friends set me up. Because they convinced me that we were going to do something, this week. Because my actual birthday was like on Tuesday. So these guys tell me, we're going to do something, let's get together, whatever. Then my pal tells me, let's go and watch a movie on Friday. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now, the problem is that this guy knows I'm a big fan of like Marvel movies. So I'm like, 20. So I go there, these guys are delaying me. I'm like, what's up? So they told me, okay, so by the way, we've got something here, just check this out there. So they put a recording where I'm singing all these birthday messages from all people. Even my kids, I don't know how they did that. So they do all that. Then I was told, okay, come, let's go around. We have something small planned for you. So I was blindfolded and guy. In the middle of town.
Wow.
Joshua.
40 buckets.
And they kept coming.
They wanted you to be sick.
No, okay, it was appreciated. I mean, it was something very nice because it was like in the middle of the afternoon. So a whole bunch of guys had actually, taken the time off, taken time from their work, from all the things. So I was really grateful. I mean, it's funny, they say that life begins at 40.
I wanted to ask, how does it feel? At 40, how do you feel? As a man?
It is a good place to be.
Wow.
It's a good.
It is.
I can't wait.
A good. No, for a man, I don't know for ladies, but for a man at least.
I hear for ladies too.
Okay.
You go all out.
And on that note, tell us about your most, over the years as you've been able to perform different places, what's your most memorable memory when you were doing your thing, or you're in your zone?
Man, I have too much. Let's just say I have been incredibly lucky to do a lot of things. I mean, like I said, I just came back to music literally last year. But, and again, I say I am really, really lucky. Because if I look at when, I cut over from that to other stuff to coming back, I mean, between then and now, literally, I have literally been across the world. I mean, there's very few places I haven't gone. I mean, other than, the Far East and whatever. I mean, I have traveled, I have met people, I have engaged. Look, I won't even complain. My 40 years have been incredible. Okay. The performing man, for now I'm just taking it as it comes. Like I said, when you're getting into the music, at some point you have to invest and there's a time to reap. This is a time to plant. So we are planting like crazy this year. Yeah.
And you happen to mention about working with young talent, which I think is so great. Maybe you can take an opportunity also to, to speak to young people and share with them a lesson or two that you may have learned along the journey and inspire them.
All right, I'll just put it this way. I think there's nothing more frustrating in Kenya than being young and talented, because unfortunately there's no shortage of talent, and people with talent tend to get chewed out. Basically, you'll get exploited by a lot of people. I'll give the example of the kid who I mentioned, whose video we just released. This is a guy who's got so much talent that every few months someone promises to do something for him. Every few months someone will meet him. I mean, even he's been promised big things. I won't mention names, by big people. They come, they go to Kibera. This guy literally named Sonjengo, by the way. Let me just tell you that. So a lot of people come to Kibera, see him performing, and tell him, we're going to do this for you. And unfortunately, none of that ever comes through. So I think to some extent, I'm just going to tell these kids probably what I saw in my own life. When I was young and talented, it was very hard to find people who are going to invest in you without any form of ulterior motive. So what I did is I said, I'm going to come back when I'm ready to do it for myself in my own way. So one thing I would say is, first of all, don't get sidetracked by a lot of what is happening. Second of all, the world will not end. And I will say this with all the love in the world. The trouble with being young is that you think the world will end tomorrow. You've got this talent, and if someone's not going to sort you out by tomorrow morning, you get frustrated, you get angry and all that. Not realizing that you've got time. You see, what the youth have is time. You have your time and your talent. But the silly things you're going to do right now are going to mess you up. Let's take the example of what you were talking about, like the young girls who are actually coming into the business. You will get exploited in ways that are just disturbing. And the trouble is, if you could just take a moment, yes, your passion is your music and everything, find something to feed that passion. Find a job, find an income that can actually fund what you're doing. I'll give an example. We're talking too much. I'll give an example of one of the greatest actors who actually was there like in the 30s or 40s. His name was Buster Keaton. This guy was a great actor, but he wanted to enjoy art, and his biggest habit was buying art, expensive art. Trouble is, the guy couldn't paint worth a damn. He was terrible, but he was a great actor. So what the guy did is that for so many years, he was a great actor to feed his passion for art. He didn't really love the acting so much, but he was good at it. So what I would say to guys who really want to make it in anything, yes, there is that thing which you love, but until that thing has got enough strength for it to stand up, do something that will make you some money.
Yeah.
Feed that, because at least you'll have a little dignity. If you're a lady, you're not going to be finding yourself in strange positions. Not even ladies, even guys, my friend, you won't find yourself doing strange things. Please, find something so that you can at least fund that thing which you do. And look, if it works out, fine. If it doesn't work out, at least you'll still have your dignity by the end of the day.
And at least you tried. Yeah.
I had a plan. You see, the thing is, most guys who I was with, they say, we have quit that and we've gone into
Yeah,
other
I'm
things.
saying, as in, at least, even if something doesn't work out, you've tried. You've given it to your best.
Life goes on.
Yeah, it does.
Your passion is one thing. I mean, if you were to ask someone, who are you? I could say, yes, I'm a musician, but I have so many other hats. I have a family, I have this. I'm a father to someone, I'm a friend to someone.
Yeah.
There are so many other roles in your life. Life does not end because one is taking a bit longer to come through.
True.
That would be my thing.
And do share with guys your social media handles, YouTube channel, so that guys can go and check you out.
All right, so my channels are Murua Mziki. At some point I had to change them because the spelling caused havoc with everyone. So on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, it is Murua Mziki, Muziki. Search any of those words, you'll actually find it. On Twitter, it's just Murua Mziki. Come, let's hang out. I promise you it's interesting. It's an interesting place.
Will we get an opportunity to hear a line or two from Moments?
I would
Some
be
reggae
very happy.
vibes.
Oh, this one was more R&B, but reggae tunarudi.
Oh, so, okay, the R&B,
Tupatie,
the R&B
R&B,
vibe.
reggae.
All right, you ready? I see us in stormy weather, sharing an umbrella. And I see us in a kitchen laughing, making food together. And I see us walking hand in hand, lady and her man. A simple life, such as is a life, made of moments such as this.
Wow.
That's really nice.
It's on my YouTube channel, check it out. Moments,
Kabisa.
Murua Mziki Muziki. Thank you.
Awesome. So from us, tuonane kesho as we
Yes.
walk hand in hand in this.
Yes.
So see you tomorrow, same time, same place. #Chatspot. See ya.
Bye.